That was
2 years ago?
2018.
2018.
That was May of 2018.
And that was the embassy
opening. So I happened to be there in Israel too.
And so I was on a pilgrimage with my mom in Israel, and it was our last day, and we were standing in the ticket line. And I remember just trying to deal with pulling together all of the documents and stuff at the ticket counter. And I turned around, and I saw someone who looked super familiar, but I've never talked to them or met them before. And I looked at him, and I was like, turned over to my mom, and I was like, he looks really familiar. And didn't say anything. And I came back home and got a message from Tyler.
All right, so that's one point that I want to point out, that she said that her mother didn't say anything. And I don't believe she had anything to do with his assassination if he was assassinated. But she may be being forced into acting a certain way to cover for his behind. Seriously, this whole thing.
And I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line
In
was a
the
guy who
snake
looked very familiar.
of the
I had
ticket
no
line.
idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No. We were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person with a...
Which is it? Which is it? Did her mom say nothing? Or did her mom say, well, go and say hi? Which is it?
Over the past 7 months, I have seen the worst of humanity, but I've also seen the best of it. We just lived through 4 years of corruption dressed up as compassion. 4 years of that. You remember when we had Christian pro-life activists being persecuted for their beliefs? Remember when concerned parents were getting targeted by federal law enforcement just for showing up at their school board meetings? Remember wide open borders? 500,000 people poured into this state alone, thanks to an administration that didn't care about stopping them. And now, 452 days into the Trump administration, look at what has already been done. Spreading negativity, all to get clicks and influence the algorithm to maximize profits.
Now see right here, she is pointing the finger at Candace. Candace is trying to get to the truth. Candace is trying to find out what happened to this woman's husband. At this time, you can see it was April 17, 2026. She may have been trying with and believing with all her heart that Trump could turn all this around, and they hung everything they had on Trump. But you see, God has a plan, and you can't necessarily put God in with the devil and think everything is going to work out. You know, she may be just 36 years old, but I think that she's been raised in this kind of thing. I think with her dad being in Raytheon and her mom being part of the government in some way, because she has all these different tech orgs and different things set up. I don't know what's going on with her mom, but she's in the government some kind of way. Anyway, I think she's been raised up in this, and she's been groomed and she's been programmed to set things up a certain way.
Husband Charlie gave his life for that work. And what gets built lasts for generations long after the noise has run out of one-liners. No one understands this better than President Trump.
Oh, he's so great.
No one. No matter what they throw at him, he perseveres in the face of adversity.
Yeah, that's good.
Because the mission is too important.
Yes, it is.
And he is not alone in this fight. And we are blessed to be Americans, and we are going to fight like it. And ladies and gentlemen, there is no one else I'd rather have on our side than President Donald J. Trump. God bless you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Commenting and calling her creepy.
She's in danger, you guys. I don't care what you say, she's in danger. This girl is in danger. Something is terribly wrong. She's being forced to do things against her will. And she doesn't know what to do about
Erica has not
it.
come out and confirmed that herself, but someone posted this as confirmation. Yes, Erica Kirk wears blue contact lenses. Her natural eye color is brown, but she has regularly used blue-colored contacts for years, which gives her the striking bright blue eyes seen in most public photos and appearances. This is widely noted in discussions of her look, especially in pageant and media contexts.
That's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence. Now, did we know that? No, not until we were like 3 months into our relationship and looking at timestamps, seeing that both of us were in Israel at the same time. But nothing is by coincidence when God is within you. Okay? So you guys go blaze a trail, okay? God bless you all.
From the organization and said, Eric, I've never heard Erica say a curse word. Are you out of your mind? Why would you say something like that? Erica's not perfect. Erica's a long way from perfect. And so are all of us. So, give me a break.
And I walked into the room, and I've shared this with some of you. When I walked into the room when we were starting to get back on our feet after everything that happened in 9/10, our team was talking about the things that we're going to be building as we move forward through the pain. And here's the difference, is that there are people out there where pain and grief...
See, they're always building. It's always about building. Okay? 22nd degree Freemason. Not Christian. It's too many personalities that Erica has to be a true leadership Christian. It's just, it looks erratic.
And grief will break you. But all of you in this room are very similar to me. This organization is not a flash in the pan. We are not 2 years old. We are 14 years old. He left us the blueprint to follow. And so for those of you who do know about Turning Point, this will be a reminder for those of you who don't. We are a big tent. Not that big, but big. And we are able to have a lot of programs within our organization that many don't. One of our programs could be a nonprofit in itself.
Listen to what she's really saying. They have 4 different organizations all into one. And okay, so she's going to put on the hat of a Christian in one part of the organization. Then she's going to put on the hat of businesswoman, boss lady in another part of the organization. And her rings, that M and that G, is Freemasonic. It's just clear that it's Freemasonic. And they are posing as a Christian organization. You cannot put the stock market, in which they are part of, and all of this into the church. It's like putting iron with clay. It doesn't go together.
Anyone can just say, poor me, why this? Anyone can say that. But it's what you do with that pain and that grief that is the most important thing that will outlive you. And so as we were sitting in that conference room, and we were going through the commitments Charlie had and the vision that we had, we left room for God to do what he does best and write in some new things that we didn't even have planned.
That's not... Oh, I can't stand this.
And when I walked into that room, I didn't go, Andrew Cipher, who are you? I knew him. I knew him very well and his family. I didn't look at our COO, Justin, and was like, all right, I need to step back and we need to reassess these processes. Don't do that event. I don't even know what this is. Don't do it. No. I said, you all know what you need to be doing. Full steam ahead. You have your marching orders, and we are going to get through this, and we are going to make Charlie so damn proud.
Who in the world is she actually? Who is she? What is she talking about? Now what's the difference?
Because he left feeling so inspired and so locked in and so excited for the fall semester. And he would also really deeply resonate with the students when they would say, I feel like I'm just in the thick of it. Like, I just feel like I'm over the mark. I'm feeling the pressure. And I don't know if any of you are here as students today. Can you raise your hand? Yeah, there's a lot.
What does she mean, over the mark? And in a few minutes, she's going to say something about target. Okay, I still say this is a plan, guys. It's a plan. And no, I don't think that she is who she says she is. I'm not even sure Charlie was who he said he was. He may have been showing us one side of himself, and he may not have been showing us the other. You know, they do believe in duality.
And a girl asked me, how do you navigate through your grief? And it really stuck with me because, first of all, it's a great question. But second of all, I sat with it and I thought, grief really makes you come face to face with God. Because the enemy literally has no power over you or your situation unless you give him that power. No power, because the devil is terrified of a spirit-filled Christian. Terrified of a spirit-filled Christian.
She is reading the entire time. Maybe I shouldn't find fault with that. I just don't know. But you can tell a difference in how she carried herself when she's being the warrior boss, and she's being the Christianese woman. I mean, this is what it looks like to me. And why are these people letting her tell them how to lead their lives? What are they trying to do? Train her to be a greater CIA worker? What? I just don't get it.
Because that Christian knows their authority, the authority given to them by Christ. We are his bride, his body, and again, that terrifies the enemy. And so every day you make that choice to declare it. When the enemy is in your head, I don't care where you are, but there's something really powerful about taking a stand, literally embodying Ephesians 5, where you are taking a firm stand and you are saying out loud, you tell the enemy to shut his mouth, you bind the enemy and remind him that whatever you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and whatever is loose on earth is loose in heaven, and you stand firm. You stand firm and you say it out loud.
She is saying all the right words, but she's reading them. Anybody can do that. I mean, the devil knows the scripture that he repeated to Christ in the wilderness. So many things wrong with this. It's just not working for me at all. It's not working because there's just too many unanswered questions about what happened to Charlie Kirk And if anybody should be asking the questions, it should be her.
You declare it. You declare it because the only reason why I am standing here today and the only reason why I have breath in my lungs is because of the grace of God and is because of the Holy Spirit that lives within me, because my only strength is the Lord. My only strength. My only strength. But that needs to be renewed daily because life is hard. It's hard. But don't you dare give up.
I truly want to believe that she's serious about what she is saying. Everybody that's sitting in that auditorium wants to believe, I think, wants to believe what she is saying. But there's been too much that hasn't been right. And Tyler Robinson could get the death penalty for something that he didn't do. And instead of looking into the right answers, because we know that was so many things put out that were not true by the official FBI, CIA, whoever they were, putting these videos out and or indicting Tyler Robinson, and it's just not. It's not the way we do things. It's not.
Me, my coworkers are watching me. My family's watching me.
Playing on everybody's emotions isn't going to work for me either.
Cloud of witnesses is watching me, and I will not give up, and neither will you guys. Neither will all of you.
She seems to love the applause.
I did marry Charlie Kirk, and I am so proud I did because he's the love of my life. Love of my life. Love of my life.
You know, I can't back her up. I can't back her up because of the other three organizations. Okay, there's TPUSA Faith, and there's TPUSA, and then there's TPUSA Action, and then there's one more. I can't think of the name of it. But my goodness, I can understand if she would take over one, but maybe it's okay for her to take over all four. And maybe I'm totally off on this. But there's just too many unanswered questions about what happened to Charlie Kirk, and they don't seem to care that it's going to get pinned on Tyler Robinson. They don't even seem to care when the guy could get the death penalty, and the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned, the court that is going on with Tyler Robinson in it right now, it doesn't even seem real. It doesn't even seem like every bit of it. Every bit of it seems like it's all staged, all the way back to Trump getting put in jail, you know, going to court, they're going to lock him up, all this kind of crazy stuff. It's just an extension of COVID-19. It's all staged. Being over the target. It's a plan. It's a plan. Now, I listened to Russell, the preacher that comes on here, and Candace made fun of him because of his his cut black jeans he had on. She said that she thought he purposely cut them. Well, maybe he did. But his message was for real. I don't care if he was holding his head down. I don't care if he had Charlie on the hat. His message, in my opinion, was for real.
To me, he still is my husband.
Yes, he is, because he's not dead. I mean, it's too many times. Even Candace said something to indicate that he was still alive. And so has Erica said things to indicate he's still alive. So
He's had a star with a circle.
I know that he didn't mean anything by that. He was just putting a star with a circle around it on something that he wanted to remember or whatever, or something he thought that he said that was profound. But a star with a circle around it could be a pentagram. Excuse me. And she emphasized it.
Circle around it. And so I just sat with it and I just looked at it. Look up. Of course I look up. Very literal. Life. Doesn't mean you don't work hard. Doesn't mean you don't glorify God. But don't cling to it. Don't cling to it, because we're just here recruiting for heaven. This place is not our home. It is not our home. Never will be our home.
Either she's sincere or she's a very bad actress. One of the two. I don't know. It's just,
As it burns and as it shows God's presence is what actually sustains us. So I just want to encourage you guys to be battle.
If she is really a believer, and if she is really trying to put forth the message of the Lord Jesus Christ, then Father, forgive me in Jesus' name, because I don't mean one bad thing against her. But if she is being phony, if she is faking her way through this, and really nobody has any way of knowing, because nobody knows her heart. But if she is, I'm telling you now, the people that are going along with this, when they stand before God, it's not going to be good. Because when you're being deceptive, it's the worst thing that you could possibly do.
Battle ready all the time. Life is not easy, but my goodness, it's worth it. It's not easy. That's okay. Again, that means you're over the target in a good way. It means you're a part of the battle. It means you're a part of the army, Lord's army, right?
You're over the target in a good way. See, I told you. Mission, target, building.
Hey, you're probably not supposed to see this. Here's new leaked video of Erica Kirk telling her employees they piss her off and blaming them for failure.
I was really frustrated that you guys weren't able to have counter cabling for the MF America tour, and it really pissed me off. Especially because we have some really good people that could be on campus to counter program that.
The accusation I will make from this video is that's terrible leadership. I do not think she is in any way remotely in the top 100 candidates to best carry on Charlie's legacy as its CEO of Turning Point USA. It's a large organization. For the success of a large organization, you need good leadership, let alone stellar leadership for something like TPUSA. It is very obvious she has read none of these books. You can see Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin, The Dichotomy of Leadership, same authors. And it's almost like she read these books and said, why don't I do the opposite? Instead of taking ownership, you see her just casting blame. You guys. And by the way, I'm frustrated. You pissed me off. One, she's making it about her and her emotions onto her employees. And 3, blaming them for not only the perceived failure, but also blaming them for her emotions.
I was really frustrated that you guys weren't able to have the counter tabling for the Enough America tour, and that really pissed me off. Especially because we have some really good people that could be on campus to counter program that.
She's having a good time. Well, she was on a reality show, you know.
Yes.
So she's a star.
A little bit.
Maybe.
She was also in some weird CIA documents or CIA films.
Is that right?
Like,
Well, let's take a look at those. A little bit of an odd thing for completely just unrelated to all things Erica Kirk.
We have 5 major threats that make our grid extremely vulnerable that we've presented to congressional officials. 1 being cyber, 2 being hackers, 3 being physical threats, 4th one is solar EMP, and the 5th one is man-made EMP. So the concern that we have is that we put out this critical information, and when we go over this risk analysis, they hear what we're saying, but they don't want to take action.
Both were pissed. Talk! Nobody ever knew this meeting happened. And they talked to each other. Who is that shot caller? Call the damn shot! Call it! I'm not the shot caller. Call the flippin' shot! What are you doing? You have so much momentum. Good momentum. Call the damn shot! I don't know what the shot caller is. If I was the effing shot caller, the meeting would have been done a week after what happened to Charlie. It would have been done a week after what happened to Charlie. And I'm going to say, what the hell are we doing? Look what we built. Reminder. All of them. Whether you hate Candace or Tucker or Ben or Megan, I don't care. Whether you love Candace, you love Tucker, you love Megan. 16. Maybe not Ben, because Ben has always not been Trump. He's been DeSantis. He's been on the outside. That's probably the guy. Call the damn shot. Have the meeting already. I think there's only 2 people that can call that meeting to make it happen. And by the way, doesn't need to be on camera. Do this, you know what our research is? We read this, we give our commentary because we trust the way we process issues, not because we have insiders calling us about everything that's going on. What's that? It seems like you're processing the issues while you're doing a podcast, and you guys are just kind of doing ChatGPT information, and then in that moment you kind of show what you're thinking. That's what makes it authentic. That I'm not being fed by somebody saying, say this, say this, say that. No, I'm not that guy. Call somebody else and tell them what to say. But come on, shot caller. I don't put this on anybody but the shot caller right now. And Erica's not a shot caller. She's not. I don't put this on anybody but the shot caller right now. And Erica's not a shot caller. She's not. You don't just become a shot caller because you married a shot caller.
You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The thing here is that you cannot, Erica's not the one, because you cannot be in a position of leadership and come across like you've been coming across because you've got too many different personalities and acting schemes going on.
I don't know what happened to me. I went through a 6-month period where I was like...
But again, they're all builders. And you can't be in the Freemasonic club and be a Christian. Because at the top of the pyramid is Satan. At the top of the pyramid is big time money and big time families. And their goal is Albert Pike. Albert Pike's prophecy of the 3 world wars. And the third one, if you guys don't realize, is going on right now. It seems to be about to begin between Iran and Israel, and it's not looking good at all. Okay? Wheat and tares, the parable that Jesus tells. And we don't know who the weeds are. They look like us. They walk like us. They talk like us. And if you look at a certain weed that grows, it looks almost just like wheat.